Welcome back, guys. The UK is so hot right now. I have my feet on a cool mat. I have a fan going. It is way too warm right now in the UK, and you know what? We're gonna power through. If you see sweat, no you didn't, it's fine. So what are we doing today? Today we are rebuilding the hospital from the Get to Work pack. A couple videos ago we did the Science Center, Science Lab, which was amazing. I love how that turned out. And as we progress with our Let's Play, we gotta have a lot more babies. And I hate the layout of the hospital. It's not enjoyable to me. So today we're focusing on that. We're gonna rebuild it, ready for the next babies. Yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Right, before we get started, meh. Yes, I've changed my shirt. Was it silly? Was I wearing a green shirt on a green screen? Maybe. None of your business though. Let's keep watching. So here is the original hospital, guys. So what we've done is I built a new sim, I got them a job at the hospital, and then I went to work with them. That's how you can access the building and how we can put the free build chewy in, which is this. And that will allow you to rebuild the hospital basically from scratch. It's really easy to do, but I'll take you through step by step how it works before we get into the build. So here is the original layout. It's very, like, I understand what they were going for, but to me it's not functional. Everything is spaced so far apart that it takes your sim forever to get to where they need to be. It's really long-winded, and when you're doing the get to work stuff, you need to be able to access what you need pretty quickly in quick succession so that you can get as many tasks done in the day as possible to get closer to promotion and things. So basically this whole layout, take a good look at it because this will be going. But we have like an obscenely large staff room here, which seems a bit insane. We have some treatment rooms over there. We've got the surgery rooms at the top here. This is where you go to give birth. If you ever accompany your sim to the hospital for their baby, they go in those rooms. So I really wanted to redo those as well. We have like, I think these are like diagnostic or treatment beds. I'm not sure which, but basically you need 6 of them. We've got some analysis machines, some x-rays. We've got like patient gym equipment, as well as a gym staff gym equipment, as well as reception. It's just big, it's just clunky. I'm not a fan of it. So when it comes to the get to work stuff, you want to make sure that you're keeping every single item, because you need to make sure the lock functions properly. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I build a basement and then I drag every single item in there. There are different ways of doing it. Some people pull a list from Google or Reddit or anything like that. I personally just put every single piece of equipment or functional item down in this basement so I can delete room by room. That way I make sure that I don't lose anything. And also sometimes there's like really cool items that are specific for the place that you're building. For instance, this is a hospital. They've got a lot of the hospital items in there. For me, this is just how I like to work. Obviously you can do it your own way. This just makes me feel more secure that every single item that needs to be in this hospital will be in this hospital. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going through every single room, popping it in that basement, and then just deleting everything else on top that isn't needed, deleting all those pathways there as well. So we're then left with a clean canvas, which is great. And then you're kind of like, well, the world is most, or what kind of hospital do I want to go for? We decided to go for quite a modern looking hospital. I wanted like the big glass windows and things. And originally I wanted this a lot smaller than what it ends up being. However, there's a lot of equipment that you need to include, and you need to make sure that you have enough so that your sim, as well as the other sims that are like your colleagues, can work alongside you and you're not queuing waiting for equipment. So in the end, this ended up being a little bit larger than I would have liked, but I still think it makes sense, and the layout makes way more sense to me as well. But we got this big glass foyer for the reception area, which I don't know, just seems very modern and like most hospitals that I've been to. We got like this big podium section at the top where I was like, oh, we can put like the hospital logo and things. But yeah, basically I wanted it sleek, modern, because originally me and chat, we were debating whether we go for like a little woodland hospital, but that wouldn't really make sense. I don't know, a woodland cabin doesn't really scream sterile to me. So that's why we went down the modern route. So here I am just trying to plan out where things are going to go. My first point of call was the bathroom. I always forget to include a bathroom in my builds. Don't ask me why. I'm terrible for it. Sorry if you've ever downloaded a build of mine that doesn't have a bathroom. I'm getting better. I promise you. So this is me trying to work out where bits are going to go that make sense for a free-flowing kind of route, I guess, around the hospital depending on what you need. So I knew I wanted like the surgery tables further away from everything else because they're not going to be as important. They're more for when we come and have a baby, you know. This is me trying to figure out stairs because I realized I didn't have room for a staff room downstairs. So we put the staff room upstairs. I think that's fine. I think it works. So I'm just like tucking it in, making it feel more secure, putting like a little special door on there. This section of the hospital is where I want all baby things. So the room I just built is going to be like the nursery. You know where all the newborns go and you can look at them through the glass and you can see your new bundle of joy kind of thing. So that's what's going to be there. I definitely want some big glass doors going outside. I want like a nice little garden area out there. I thought that'd be quite sweet. We are in the wrong season at the moment. So when I come to do the garden, it's all dead, but it will flourish in summer, I promise you. This is going to be like our A&E section where I just put all those beds. It's quite open plan. These are the windows for that nursery as well, just so everyone can see the new bundles of joy. I thought that would be really cute. Obviously a very secure, high security door for that as well. Now, we had just had a raid at this point and they were telling me about these rainbows that they found in The Sims. And I was like, oh my God, I want rainbows in my hospital. So we added it to the logo. I think it looks great. This was a really smart idea. So we are using the free place alt tool so we can put these dine out curtains and make them look like the curtains that you pull around for privacy. That's why I double lined them, because we're going to use this wall plate. It's like a wall shelf from the Desert Luxe kit. It's supposed to be for the curtains, but we are just free placing, raising it with that 9 key, holding alt so we can free place it to make it look like a curtain rail. And I think it's really effective with the 2 curtains either side. It looks like, you know, that pulls around. That would give you privacy when you're having your little checkup appointment, getting signed into the hospital. But if you remember, these are all in separate room, well, 2 to a room in the original hospital, whereas we've put these all in the same room in this one. And this was me just trying to figure out the layout for the curtain rails. You can see there's a little bit of trial and error here, but I think it's really effective at the end. This is me realizing like, oh, okay, I need to realign everything to make it work with these curtains. But that's okay. You know what? It's very rare in sim builds that I get things correct first try. You guys get to see the condensed version here, but I think it's really effective. So we do it for these 2 over here, and then we have another 4 beds on the other side. And when you see them all together, this is me deciding which way I want the curtain to go. But when you see it all together, I think it's so effective at creating like privacy, but really maximizing the space and having a big enough hallway that everyone can walk through freely. No one's banging into each other kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It makes it feel very modern, a little bit luxe maybe, but maybe I just have a weird view on hospitals. I don't know. So here we are. We're raising these wall shelves, wall bars, wall pieces. I don't know what you'd want to call them. Like I said, they go with the curtains from Desert Luxe. But I think they're really effective at it. And they come in like a grey white as well, which is perfect for what we were looking for. So I think it's really cute. So this is just me trying to get the pieces perfect. But look at it. You can't tell me that doesn't look good, right? Then we're out in reception. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, I see. I'm placing bits in the rooms that I think I want things to be, so I don't like forget what they are, because I stream a very long time. My streams are like 10 hours long. I apologize. But here it is. I was like, I don't want to forget what room I'm like labeling things. So as you can see, I'm just putting the equipment where it needs to be. So we've got the 2 surgery rooms at the back by the nursery. We've got this little section, which is our A&E triage section. Just adding a little bit more items, make it feel a little bit more full, which I think is effective. I didn't want them all to be exactly the same, so I changed the sides that some of these go on, and you'll see that with the decorating as well. Bathroom, because I've only got 1 bathroom here. I was like, we need multiple stalls. So we've got 3 stalls in there. Again, I wanted it to look quite modern, sleek, very just clean. So it's not my normal style of decorating. You guys know me, I'm cottagecore till I die. So this is really hard for me, but I think it worked out well in the end. You'll see the full one as we go in. On a long stream like this, I dip in and out the various rooms as we go along, just because it keeps it fun and interesting for my brain. These metal panels, I never knew how to use till I saw them used in the original hospital build. So that's a really cool little tip. Again, that's why I take things from the original build. I don't just bulldoze. I want to see how they use certain items, because it's most likely me using it wrong. Which is, yeah, 80% of the time. The staff room, I thought they could have a little rooftop garden. I thought that would be nice. Then we could put some of the exercise equipment out there as well that they're going to need. Again, I wanted it to be really sleek and modern. So we're going through different, like, a glass banister fencing options. But that one worked out the best. It looked really clean and slick. I like it. I like it a lot. This reception area, I don't know how to build modern. I got so frustrated trying to figure out the layout for this, whether I wanted carpet, if we just keep it wood. Curved rooms make things so difficult sometimes, but it looks so slick and effective, especially when we want to do this big double height glass wall. So we make it work. I ended up doing a double reception desk. You wouldn't need this in the actual game. They only use one. I just think it looks a little bit more realistic with two. I've never seen it where you just have one receptionist on the front desk. And then we need a little waiting area. Now, in the original waiting area, they had a kids section as well, which I really wanted to incorporate. So I was like, obviously, if kids are coming, I don't know if the kids actually do come into the hospital, but they had a kids area in the original hospital here. So I was like, we're going to incorporate that. How do we do it? And we're going to put them in like this little front bit here. So the kids can't run off or anything, like they're very enclosed, which I thought was quite effective. Don't worry, the chairs do move further back. I was like, this is a little bit too cramped for comfort, but we were just testing layouts at this point, trying to figure out the best, I guess, a flow again. So I expanded the kids area and then we moved the seats to the other side. It reminds me a little bit of airport seating, but I think it worked because I don't want to stare at someone's kids. Like, maybe I'll sit on the other side and stare at what you'll see here is the TVs instead. So it's just really fleshing out these areas because it is so spacious. My inner clutter goblin goes, I need to fill all this space, and how? So you see, I'm trying to use like signage or fire extinguishers, notice boards. We go for signs as well. So like this is like the A&E sign, I called it. We put them over the other like wards, I guess, further in the hospitals as well. Just again, to add like that little touch of realism there, which makes me happy as it goes on. Some more posters, notice boards, just information that people might need to know as they're going around the hospital. Obviously plants. I really toned down my plant game in this build, okay? You know me, every single corner needs a plant. You can never have enough. More is more, in my opinion, but maybe not when it comes to a hospital. This is toned down plants, okay? I know it might not feel like it, but it's toned down plants. Here we are, just making this feel a little bit more sleek, making it that white and gray color scheme. It's supposed to look clinical. This was interesting just to add a little bit of texture. I used those like wooden boards by the reception desk. I thought that looked really cool. I know, again, I never really know how to use them. Adding some more light strips. Again, just want to make sure it feels, yeah, very professional. That's what I wanted. Here we are starting on the staff room. Staff rooms in pretty much all the get to work buildings, they all pretty much need the same things, but again, it's just handy if you put them down in that basement, bring them up when you need them. And again, I've gone for a very clinical kitchen. We could have had more fun, but actually I think this served the point well, and we end up adding color through decoration, through the wallpaper as well. I love this little trick with the island counters as well, just so you can have people sat on the other side, make that kitchen feel a little bit more bigger, but it's more functional because people can place stuff on one side or people can sit and eat their dinner, read their notes, do whatever they need to do on the other. Just think it's cute. There we go. Here's it. Yeah, it looks intense now. I promise you it makes sense. We added a mural. The chat were very adamant there should be a mural, like maybe they hired a local artist to create something fun for the staff because they're here for so long, and I thought that was a really cute touch. So yeah, I've used this giant mural. I never use this in any of my builds. Highly effective. That's why I like doing these. Obviously the new book nook kit as well, coming in clutch here. I was like, maybe they need to study, or maybe if it's just to read things so they can chill out during like their breaks and things. So again, it was a very difficult layout to like wedge things in, but we're maximizing the space. I was like, let's do a cork board. This is, you know, when staff go on holiday and bits like that, they're traveling, they're writing back to their colleagues. It makes sense. Obviously a foosball table. They need fun. As you saw there as well, I moved the outside door. I want to say, like, Don't ever feel stuck in your own limitations when it comes to a build. It's okay. You're allowed to move a door if it no longer works where you're now placing furniture. Don't feel stuck, because that's a trap that I fall into a lot. I'm like, well, I've put the door there. You're allowed to move it. There is no one stopping you from moving that door if it's not working for your new layout. So just keep that in mind when you build like this. It's okay for it to progress and adapt and grow. Adding some clutter to the kitchen. I love clutter in a kitchen. It's one of my happy spaces. Obviously some soap. We put this fancy trash can here. Fancy trash can was needed because, you know, it's a high-tech medical facility. Adding some rugs. Now, the outside is where the garden and the gym is gonna be. In this section, like, I don't expect the staff to use it often. I very rarely get a work task where it's like you have to run on the treadmill or something, but we added it in just so it's there. It was a nice little touch, adding some little flourishes there. Added yoga mats. They're never gonna need the yoga mats, but I thought it just made it, I don't know, have a little bit more life into it. Down here again, adding some more signage. Those are actually for the rec center, but I figured they work quite well for a hospital as well, like to know which area you're in, which way to go to, like a surgery, to the nursery, to the ward kind of thing. Again, just flourishing it out. We've got like these no photography signs. I don't remember which pack these came from, but I think they work really effective, especially in a hospital. This is what I was saying. We put like signs over the doors. So this is for X-ray over there. This one here is, I think this is for physiotherapy. So we're adding this one in, trying to make them seem a little bit similar. But obviously, so if you were to look at them, you know they are different. Here is the nursery. We use a lot of debug in this nursery. So if you want a nursery, there's one here ready and waiting for you. This, yeah, it looks a little creepy, but you know what? It's effective and it's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so we're just adding some like birth certificates to each of the baskets. Again, it's such a minute detail that you probably will never notice it. And it looks a little weird. I know the babies are blue. Just go with it. They look cute. It's a little cute nursery. Okay, we're adding some nice little lighting in there as well. Just a little bit of soft lighting, just because make it feel a little bit cuter, right? This room, again, it took me a few tries to get the layout right, but I know we needed 2 of these machines. So it's like, where do we put them? Originally, I put them on the other wall, and then I was like, well, no, if we want to see like the TVs and see what they're working on, well, then we want to make sure that they're facing the other wall. So where if you play with walls down, you're going to be able to see it. There you go, little workstation as well for the staff. I don't know if the staff need it, but again, it just adds a little bit more realism to it. That Moschino, is it Moschino? That pack actually came in really handy for this build with these little divider screens that they have, where it just looks like glass. So it's kind of like a window, but not, I thought it was really effective. I end up using it in quite a few rooms in the hospital. Again, adding a little more personality to these desks. So like dirty coffee cups, water bottles, just making it look like staff actually work here and that it's a living place, I guess, rather than just being super sterile and clean. And obviously we're gonna add some of the posters, just a little bit of motivation, you know, while you're here, walking on that treadmill, they're taking your oxygen levels and things. I thought it was cute. Now we had a long hallway here. So we're adding, again, motivational posters. You know the ones I'm on about. It's not too recently I realized these were in the game, but again, they're super effective. I think for a long like corridor hallway like that, it makes sense. Here we are. These are the same dividers, just in the gray coloring. These work really well for the X-ray section as well, because we know that we want it separate from the rest of like where your staff member's gonna sit. Basically, they're always behind a screen. That's what we're doing here. We're just adding in some screen, a little bit of protection for our staff. We care about them. But yeah, I think it's really effective. So then we grab some counters and put them on the other side again. I just think it works really nice. And I like that it's consistent throughout the hospital. I use the same like island counters throughout, whether that's the staff room, the other treatment rooms and things. I just think it's really effective and I really like it. Same with the stools and the equipment. X-rays on there as well. That's what I was saying. I saw that when we were doing the like demolition of the build. So again, I probably would have missed that going through like the normal items otherwise. Adding it just like some paper towels. Again, just anything they might need. So lots of paperwork, just making it feel more hospital-like, which is very difficult. And I really struggle with putting in too much clutter. So I hope I didn't overdo it. I added in a lot of paperwork, but I like to think that paperwork is important clutter, and it makes sense for the build. So like adding a pair of glasses there, I think it makes sense. I'm sticking with it. Here we are at the front desk, adding some like business cards. I think that's fair. Now, a treatment room. This is where they go and like test samples and things. So again, we're going to use these mosquito dividers. And as you can see, like, I wasn't quite sure what to put in here, so I play around with the layout a little bit. But I just kind of make it feel like you got your own separate sections, but it's open plan at the same time. So you can see what your colleagues are doing. Nothing's like shut off or separate. I think it's really effective. And it's not too far for them to walk when you're actually like playing the get to work function. It just looks cute. And again, here comes the clutter. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna apologize in advance about all the clutter that I add. But it's worth it to me, okay? I'm a clutter goblin. I can't help it, okay? I can't help it. So here we are, just organizing some paperwork, some files, just to make it feel, again, like someone's actually in here and they're working. Some rubber mats for safety. These lights, I never use those lights normally, but I use them a lot through the hospital. I think they're really effective at looking very corporate, rather than the ones which have a lot of flourish to them. Plants. It's plant time, baby! More lighting. Just so you can see all these motivational posters, of course. Obviously, we need to see what's going on. Now, these are the surgery rooms. These are the whole reason that I wanted to rebuild the hospital. Because in our Let's Play, we have to have a lot of kids. And I like to go to the hospital with them. I think it's fun. So I was like, let's reorganize these rooms. I want these to actually, again, look decent and not be like a very boring room that you go into. So here we are, adding a ton of clutter. You know, it should just be clutter time. But just like really filling it out with like medical equipment and things. I ended up putting a wall halfway in between this room, kind of separating it with a screen, which I thought, again, just to give them some privacy while they're on the table kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense functionally. That was a hard word to say, but I think it's cute. I don't know if the doctors will ever go by there. That's another reason I add computers into every room pretty much as well, to make it so the staff members have a reason to go in there other than just like the main machine purpose. So it's a great tip to like get your staff using all different equipment and stuff and moving around your plot as well. Here's that wall that I was on about. We end up adding in those big windows. Add some blinds to it as well for like privacy if you want it. Obviously, you can lift them up if you don't. Like, it's all good. These are specific get to work blinds as well, but I think they're really effective. I really like them. And then we have to do the same on the other side. So I spent this one a little bit for you because I didn't have to work out the layout. I was like, okay, we're literally just going to be doing a copy and paste, but mirroring it basically. And a little bit different clutter as well. Again, because it's not the exact same staff that are going to be working in there. So we just pretty much take the same item, just place them in different positions, different areas. And again, I think it's just like a really quick, effective way to make it look like it's used though. And it's not just like an empty room with no personality. I think that's my biggest bugbear sometimes with The Sims, is no personality in a room. But look at that! It's so good. Right, out here we have the waiting area. You know, maybe they're waiting on the baby to be born, or they're waiting for an appointment. I just thought this little waiting area, you're already in the hospital. You're not waiting in reception. That's like to get in the hospital. But this waiting area, you know, there's a snack machine, there's magazines. You're gonna be there a while kind of thing. Here is the garden. It's not very big, but I just wanted like to make them like a little nice tranquil area outside. So it's a very simple garden, but I don't think you would have a super busy garden because of like maintenance and things for it at a hospital. But I wanted to do it in a very cute, effective way. So we made like these planter boxes, put some hedges in there, and it's just really cute. Again, like the trees and the flowers, they look dead at the moment because we're technically in winter when I'm building this. But when you boot the game up and it's summer, all of that will flourish. It'll look really nice. Again, are many people going to come out here and use it? Probably not, but I think it's just like a nice little touch to make it feel more believable because the hospital lot is huge. If you haven't seen how big this lot is, it's absolutely massive. And I didn't want a huge hospital. Okay, time for the tour. Here we go. So we're going in through reception, guys. Like, look at it. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So cute. Like, you got the kids area there. Oh, I love it so much with like those big glass windows as well. You got like the hang in there posters, you know, just motivation. You know, the silly posters that you always see in a hospital waiting room. You got the bathroom just there, a TV so you can sit and enjoy it. We've got a lovely receptionist here. Like I said, I did do 2 desks. You don't need 2 desks. I just thought it just added a little something to it. Here we are in the main ward. Now this main ward is where you have like the diagnosis section. So these treatment beds all here. So that's immediate. So as soon as they come through those doors, they're immediately able to go sit in one of those beds. Makes it really quick. Straight through these doors, we have x-ray. So again, they do not have far to travel. If you need to get your patients from one area to another, it's there. It just looks really cute. So we got 2 areas of those. And then when we go back into the ward, if we just take it a little bit further back, we have like the physiotherapy area. So there's 2 of these. Again, it has everything you could possibly need for physiotherapy in the Sims. I don't know how often they need to use these, but again, it's right near those treatment beds, so it's not far for your patients to walk it as well. It's not far for your staff member to walk either. I just think it's really cute. I really like it. Spin on around. So the garden is through those doors there. But if we keep on scooching, we have the nursery here with all the babies. I just think it's cute that you can go see them all. Obviously, they're through some very high security doors that not just anyone can get into those babies. The motivational hallway through there into the waiting room. Again, maybe I should put some motivational posters here, but they do have vending machines. They have snacks. They have reading material. It's like a nice little tucked away area. And then down here is then when we have like your surgery tables. So again, when you need those surgery tables, it's not too far for your staff to walk or for patients. I think that's the really like main key thing here, is that I didn't want there to be a lot of walking in between everything. We got all the clutter there, like medicine, we got tools and stuff, the towels. I just think it's really effective, and hand sanitizers are everywhere as well. Treatment room is at the very back. Again, this is just where your staff need to go. Patients don't need to come here. So it's the furthest away room for patients, but they don't need to come down here. Everything that your patients need will be in one specific area. Here we have the door, which goes up to our lovely staff room, which is super bright. It's super colorful. I really like it. Like, look at it. It's like little sunshine. We have the outdoor gym area. We have this kitchen area as well. But it's all very like open plan. I really like it. I really like it a lot. I think it's very effective. Again, it's not too busy, so it's easy to maintain. But look at that. And that's the hospital. I think it's really cute. I have a lot of time for this build. It was very difficult to build in a modern clinical style, but there you have it. And that's the build. I really liked it. It was way bigger than I originally wanted, but I didn't realize quite how much equipment had to go in it. But I think with the layout, we made it really streamlined. So when your patients and your staff need to move around, everything that they need is quite close together. I mean, the staff room's a little bit of a walk, but they very rarely go there unless they're on their break. But yeah, that was the build. I hope you guys liked it. If you need any more help on how to edit the get to work site, or you want any information, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, what do you think? Did you like it? I can't wait to start playing in it. I'm very excited. And also, I think we should be doing the police station soon, so stay tuned. And that's all from me, guys. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you if you got to this point in the video. I really appreciate it. I will see you next week, and goodbye.